Hey guys, what is up? Denver here. As you can tell by the title of the video, we're going through my journey of spending 100 hours of double flip reset practice and some things I've learned so that way you can maybe save yourself some time and effort when learning double flip resets yourself. Before we jump into the video, however, I want to make a quick channel update. So for Season 2 of Rocket League, I'll be starting a road to Supersonic Legend in 2v2 and continuing the road to GC in 1v1 as well. I'll be posting daily and probably alternating days on which series I upload to. And also a big shout out to Thanovic, who he did 100 hours of flip reset practice, air dribbling, and a lot of videos like that, which basically inspired this video. So with that being said, let's jump into the video. So currently at the time of recording this audio, I'm about 60 hours of the 100 hours of double flip reset practice. The footage you're seeing in the background, however, is from the first 5 hours of this journey. I should be posting the 100-hour video hopefully in the next 2 weeks, whenever I finish it. And the end goal of this journey is to hit a quote-unquote clean double flip reset after 100 hours in an online game. And I wanted to break this video up into 2 different videos for a couple of reasons. The first being that as there's many different pieces to this mechanic, I thought it would be good to cover what I know now, some tips I found in the first 50 hours to make it easier and stuff like that. Otherwise, this would be a much longer video if I were to cover all the tips I found for all the different pieces of this mechanic, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. The second reason for breaking this into 2 videos is simply so that after I hit 100 hours, I can reflect on my approach and thought process when I was at 5 hours and 50 hours of practice, and hopefully this makes for good content. If you want to begin learning double flip resets, there are obviously some foundational mechanics you'll want in your back pocket to make this process much easier. Probably the most important is knowing how to make aerial adjustments using aerial right and left outside of flip resets in general. Of course, you want to make sure you know how to hit the first flip reset before attempting trying to go for a second. This allows you to make adjustments much quicker so that way you can continue a fast and direct approach to the first flip reset. With that being said, also in a tornado spin, you want to learn how to make aerial adjustments with a tornado spin, but also with a, I guess, opposite of a tornado spin when you're on the left stick. If normally when you hit right and you hold aerial, that's going to give you a tornado spin. You want to learn to also make adjustments when you hold left on the left stick, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll cover that more in depth in the actual 100-hour video, and then I'll have an actual tutorial in that as well. So tip number 1 that I found is going to be to get your first flip reset with the back tires hitting last. So if you don't know, there's basically 2 possibilities when attempting a flip reset. You can either get stuck to the ball when you're getting the reset, or the ball can be hit further from your car when making the first reset. So you want the latter, obviously, as this creates separation between you and the ball, so you can actually flip back into it. So this happens when you slam into the ball with your back tires hitting last and popping the ball up and away from your car. Your car will get stuck to the ball if your back tires hit first and then your front tires do, or the ball will just pop straight up if that happens. So that might be better if you're going for stall flip resets, but for the purposes of what I'm doing here, I'm going for rapid resets or flipping into the actual ball, basically. So tip number 2 that I found so far is you'll want to flip cancel your corner flip, so that way the bottom of your car is still getting the second reset, but the flip canceled corner flip will allow you to make adjustments as to how your car is positioned. So what I mean by this is that when you corner flip, you can adjust how you're canceling the flip, which will essentially change the direction of the nose of your car and where it's pointing, so that way you're in a good position to make your final flip into the ball. So with front and back flips, it might seem easier to get the second reset, but the only control you have mid flip is to cancel basically just the speed in which you're flipping. It's much harder to make other aerial adjustments, whereas with a corner flip, you can kind of change how you're canceling that flip to change where your nose is pointing and put yourself in a better position to make the final touch. When I first started this journey, I would probably say I was getting a second flip, not even scoring it or putting myself in a good position. Just getting the reset or the second reset. Each one probably took about 20 minutes in between, maybe longer. It was pretty rough starting this out. In the next video, I'll kind of show the trials and tribulations that I go through throughout the whole journey. After, around the 10-hour mark, it was probably getting closer to like once every 10 minutes or so, and I was scoring some of them, and that was a really good feeling, and that was definitely very motivating for making the final push. And then around the 50-hour mark, I was consistently getting the double reset at that point, and it was more of how I was positioning myself after the second flip, so I could put myself in a good position to score. And after that, where I'm at right now, 60 hours, it's really more just repetition and kind of just getting the reps in, so that way I get used to the muscle memory of it, and it's still mostly positioning after the second flip reset, so that way I'm in a good position to make a final touch into the ball. And with that being said, that's going to be the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Sorry if it ran on a little longer than I expected. The second video for this should be coming out here in a couple weeks, like I said earlier. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below.